The Long Haul Podcast, America's Irish Voice. Interviews with inspiring immigrants, renowned Irish personalities, and discussions on all things Irish America. Presented by Michael Dorgan and Johnny Kennedy. We have a jam-packed podcast for you all this week as I preview some of the virtual events taking place across the globe this week to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. While the New York City Parade is cancelled again this year, you can still hit the streets in your emerald green, and there is a huge uptake in the Spar Craic 10k and 5k virtual run that is being held in partnership with the Irish Echo. Jim Frawley, one of the run's New York ambassadors, is here to give us a preview of that event and how you can take part. Then I dial in with Dublin, where Karen Walshe gives us a rundown on a dedicated new online television channel that has been set up just for St. Patrick's Week called St. Patrick's Festival TV, or SPF TV for short. Karen is the artistic director of the channel, which is currently playing round-the-clock Irish music, poetry, short films, and just about everything that can be artistically created for St. Patrick's Day. Next, I head to Boston to the wonderful Mary Sugrue, who is the chief executive of the Irish-American Partnership. The partnership connects Irish and Irish-American communities through education and community programs in Ireland. They have an incredible lineup for their St. Patrick's virtual celebration that takes place on Monday evening, the 15th of March at 6 p.m. That event will feature on Taoiseach Micheál Martin, President Michael D. Higgins, actor Cillian Murphy, and lots more. Lastly, we collaborate with Trasa Goodwin-Smith, who is the presenter of the Ireland Calls radio show. Trasa interviewed New York City Parade Chairman Sean Lane on her show last week, and Sean gave Trasa a rundown on some of the virtual events the parade is hosting this year. Trasa was kind enough to lend us that segment of her radio show. A quick update on the potential sale of the American Irish Historical Society building on 5th Avenue that we discussed on the show a few weeks ago. The petition to stop that sale has now hit over 32,000 signatures. There was also a detailed article in the New York Times on Saturday about the potential sale, and we've linked to that article on our social media pages. And lastly, some major and breaking news about the Mean Fiddler Bar, and I'm delighted to reveal that the bar is reopening on St. Patrick's Day this Wednesday. Yes, co-owner Michael McNamee, who was on the show with us last week, has just confirmed the news to us, and I'm delighted to announce that the bar will reopen its doors on March 17th. So after you complete your 10k or 5k Wednesday, why not head over to 266 West 47th Street in Times Square to celebrate by dancing on a few tables. Speaking about that run, that's where I'll start the show by connecting with Jim Frawley, who is a race ambassador and also the CEO and founder of Bellwether. Jim, thanks for coming on the Long Haul Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me, Jim, give us a quick background on yourself and tell us what Bellwether is all about.
Sure. Bellwether. I run Bellwether. Bellwether is an executive coaching and change management firm based here in New York, primarily with people in the city. But then, I've got clients around the world. I also have the Bellwether Hub podcast, and I just released a book called Adapting in Motion, Finding Your Place in the New Economy, which is how to manage change when you don't know what change is coming. New York Irish, Irish American, and dual citizenship. So there you go.
Excellent. Tell us about the podcast and where can we pick that up?
Podcasts on all your lovely stations. It's called Bellwether Hub, and the website is bellwetherhub.com, and that's also the business site. So it's all there.
Cool. And when was the book released? It was released earlier this year, was it?
Yeah, it was early February.
So you're one of the New York ambassadors for the 10K run next week. Let the listeners, the viewers know what exactly that consists of and why you got involved.
Yeah, so it's a global run, which is fantastic. I'm big into running. Before the pandemic, I used to do the first Sunday of every month, I would do a 5K in Central Park. I'm looking forward to getting that started again. I'm setting up a running group with the Sober St. Patrick's Day crowd. We're going to be running this event together. And the idea of a global Irish virtual run just hits so many positive levels. And when we think about the word sláinte and toasting people on St. Patrick's Day, the word means health. So why not go for a run? I think it's great.
So tell me, how do people take part, and when's it going ahead?
Well, it's virtual, so you can sign up in advance. You can run it whenever you like, which is great. So the thing is, you can run it however you want. You can sign up on ashlingevents.com and sign up for the run, do it. You get your T-shirt, you finish it, you get your medal. It's going to be great. And then they also have a live event. I believe it's 9 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, New York time. 9 o'clock Eastern morning, it's going to have live traditional music. They're going to be checking in with ambassadors from around the world, New York, Australia, Boston, Ireland, of course, Belfast, Dublin. So it's going to be a great thing to tune into. And since everybody needs to be virtual for St. Patrick's Day to properly celebrate, there are a lot of great virtual events, and this is a great way to kick it off.
So is that a Zoom event, is it? Is everyone...
It's a Zoom, it's a Hey Summit event. But the details are on ashlingevents.com, where you can either sign up to do the run, or you can get the details for signing up just for the live activity.
Okay, and so you can do the 10K run anywhere, is it? And then what do you do? Do you post it online? Did you post it on the website? What's the...
Do the run. And I would also say, if you can't run 10K, you could run 1K or 5K. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. The idea is to get out and run with your Irish brethren. So run what you can do, and then you post it up. And when you post it up to the whatever it is, Strava or whatever they got on there, you post it and you get your medal. It's gonna be great.
And can you do that? Is there a cutoff point on Wednesday, or can you do it after Wednesday, or what's the...
That's a great question. I don't even know. And you know what? If you can't do it that day, there's no reason why you shouldn't do it on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. And I think you should just do it on every day.
And did this go ahead last year as well, Jim, or what's the history behind it?
Yeah, the history behind it, they've done it in the past. It was typically a live event. So last year was the pandemic. So this has been an event. It's been a 5K, 10K that they've been doing in the past. So now we've moved to virtual. I think the entire world has moved to virtual, which is good. And so we might as well take advantage of it. It's a new opportunity. It's a whole new way to engage with so many more people, rather than just, a 10K run through the city. You can now do it with a lot of people and start to build your own community beyond what your typical community is.
Yeah, there's some great, some of the running clubs here. The Ashling Centre up in Yonkers, they started a running club. So everyone's trying to get out in the open there during the pandemic. Tell me, is there a registration fee to sign up, and how much is it? And are people running for charity, or can you donate?
There are. So the charity is the Marie Curie Cancer Fund. So a little bit of every registration goes towards that. I believe it's £15 to register. You get your T-shirt and you get your medal, and that's what you can do there.
Okay, and so tell listeners, why should they go out and do the run? They could even walk at 10K. They could do 5K. It's just a matter of going out and doing it, is it?
Look, it's we have to create our communities. We surround ourselves with people that make us better. So let's surround ourselves with runners, right? We've been sitting inside for a year. From a pandemic perspective, get out and go for a little run, get a little exercise, go for a walk, whatever it is. There's no reason not to do it. And when someone gives you the foundation and the platform to do it, you might as well take advantage.
Tell me, there's for those who enter or take part, there's a couple of tickets on raffle if you enter. Tell us more.
That's it. Those of you from North America who sign up and do it, you can win a free trip to Ireland from Aer Lingus. So there are a couple tickets up for grabs. So if you needed more incentive rather than just being healthy and going for a run, now you might as well just get a free trip to Ireland when the world opens up.
Awesome. There's a kind of a coordination between Belfast. What's happening there?
Yeah, it's Marshine's crew from Belfast. They've been doing a lot beyond just the run. So they typically would do the run. This started out as a Belfast run. It was a Belfast 10K.
Okay.
They've become experts in the global virtual event space, whether it's the Belfast Homecoming, whether it's the Echo 40 under 40. They've been doing this for a while now. So they really do an excellent job with it. So I'm really excited to see the live program, the music, and how you can jump around in and out. The logistics of putting something like this together is amazing. And Colin, Marcin, and the entire team over there, and Amy, they've done a phenomenal job. They've really got this nailed up. It's gonna be fantastic.
Okay. And you're doing the media rounds now. You're the ambassador this year. I think Sophie Colgan, former a friend of the pod, we should say. She was on a couple of weeks ago. She's also an ambassador. Is there a couple of you? Or?
Yeah, there's a couple of us. I think there are two for every city. So it's me and Sophie for New York. There are a couple up in Boston, a couple in Dublin, Belfast, Dubai. I think we've got a couple out there. So it's good. I'll do the media tour all day long. If it's going to get people moving and it's going to celebrate Irish, that's my kind of jam. It's
You've got to set up. And what time are you going to clock Wednesday for the 10K?
I'm going to run it early. So if you want to come with me to Central Park, I'm going to commit to running at 8:00 in the morning. Come meet me at 8:00 in the morning at the Jackie O Reservoir. I'll be there. We'll wear a mask. We'll run it together. I know the Sober St. Patrick's Day crew will be there too. So we'll get a bunch of people. We can run it 6 feet apart, and then we can tune into the little show at 9:00.
Okay, awesome. Central Park is 10K, isn't it? Because I ran it before, but I'm not sure if it's around 10K, is it?
If we have to do 2 loops, we'll do 2 loops.
You could do that on your own. So is there going to be a gang of you meeting at the reservoir? Where exactly is that?
Yeah, a couple people. It's the South Reservoir Tower. It's like 82nd Street or something like that. You'll see like there's just, whatever that little gravel path is. I can't even remember the name of it.
Okay.
But, if you want to post it to the podcast, I'll let you know.
We'll post it up. Perfect. Yeah, great idea. We could all get involved in that. 8:00 Wednesday morning.
That's it.
All right.
Soda bread.
All right, Jim. Thanks a million. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We're heading to Dublin now with Karen Walshe, who's the artistic director for the St. Patrick's Festival, which is on from the 12th to the 17th of March. Karen is here to give us a rundown on what's going on. Karen, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
So, Karen, tell me what is the St. Patrick's Festival? How did it come about, and what can we look forward to?
Yeah, so we are the national festival here in Ireland that celebrates St. Patrick's Day. And originally the festival, I suppose the parade was the main thing that was happening on the 17th of March for years. And then the government decided, I think it's about 23 years ago now, to actually turn the event into a festival. And so we have been building it out over the years into now it is a 6-day event which celebrates everything to do with Irishness today here in Ireland, but also it's traditional, but also it's very contemporary. So you've got everything from traditional music to electronic music to modern day theatre makers telling their stories to, Eddie Lenihan, our most famous legend storyteller here. So you've got a bit of everything really,
And was it always virtual, or was it last year was the first virtual event and this is the second year? Tell us a bit of how the virtual aspect came about.
Yeah, so this is actually the anniversary today, the anniversary this year of 1 year lockdown in Ireland, and I'm sure across the world, but it was this weekend last year that we were cancelled, and it was the night before the festival was due to start that we eventually had to just make the final call. It was up and down for weeks, but we just kept going anyway. We didn't know what was going to happen. So we didn't have a chance to go virtual last year. We just had to completely stand down everything. And that's over 100 events. It's like, the parade, which would see 3,000 performers on the streets of the city on the 17th of March. It's hundreds of thousands of people watching it on the street, millions watching it all over the world. Completely gone, just gone. And it was a really sad weekend. It was very emotional and everybody was exhausted because you'd just been working all year getting this beast over the line and then literally gone. So we came out of that in April and we just thought, right, we're most likely going to be in some kind of a level of restrictions next March. So we started planning for a level 3, 4 and 5 festival. And then really it came to Christmas, and after the 4th of January, then the whole country was back into level 5, which in Ireland means everything is closed. No live events, not a cafe or restaurant open, no cultural spaces open. And we decided we're going to be virtual. We got our funding from the Department of Arts, from the government, and we thought they wanted us to use this money to funnel back out to the artists and the live events workers and crews to get them working. And we decided that we were going to frame all of this content that we are producing with all the artists into a TV channel. to try and do something different for the audience, for the viewer, and also to be able to stream this globally now all over the world. So it's going out across the world on our website. And we have created this magnificent TV channel over 6 days and nights. We have 90 hours of film, all made over the last 2 months. It is spectacular. And the festival and team have just worked day and night to make this happen. And we're really proud now. It's all up and running smoothly, and it's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the website, stpatricksfestival.ie. It's jam-packed full of Irish goodies, Irish artists. It looks fantastic. Tell us, so do you log onto the website to watch the programming?
Exactly. So we're streaming it out on Irish time. So you can log on to our website into the SPF TV page. You'll just see the channel running there. If you've missed anything, if you're on different time zones, go back into our event pages, and everything is on playback there till the 21st of March. And yeah, we have everything running from like yoga in the morning at 9:30 a.m. right through to late club stuff going on at 11 p.m. till 1:30 a.m. or whatever. And we've big shows in the evenings. We've got kids events, historical tours, virtual tours around Ireland, music, poetry, theatre, film, everything. So there's and it's about what Irishness is today. And I think we get that across well, and I think there's something in there for everybody as well, all ages.
Absolutely fantastic. And you can go in and watch it up until the 21st. Is it? It closes down then, or what's the?
So we just in terms of copyright, we get to stream everything up until the 21st of March. Everything will come down, but we're checking with all the artists again who wants to allow us to put it back up. So it'll go. Some of it will go back. Okay. Hopefully, like 80% of it will go back up. But just try and catch it before the 21st. Anyway.
Awesome. Have you any kind of figures on how many people are taking part, or how many people were behind the whole operation? The website is very well done. It's just, I have to say, it's a credit to all of you.
Thanks. So we're all working remotely this year as well, which has been another challenge. Course, yeah. So we are all based all over the country. There's probably about 50 of us in the team. There could be 10 most of the year, and then as it ramps up from, say, November onwards, we go up to about 50. Artist-wise, I'd say we're talking probably about 3,000 artists. Wow. That's, filmmakers, editors, production crew. We went to an artist, for example. We said, right, we want you to create this piece. We want you to hire your local filmmaker, your local event crew. So all these events are taking place all over the country. It's not just happening in Dublin where it would normally be if it was a live event. So we're taking people all over. So we films coming from performances in the Aran Islands to Donegal, Belfast, Waterford, Dublin, and everywhere in between. We're hitting the 32 counties with this programme, which is really fantastic. I love that.
And is it all Irish based, or do you have some diaspora involved, or is it just all from the island? The island, as I say.
Yeah, it's all Irish. There's a couple of events that we're working with the Adrienne Brinkerhoff Poetry Foundation in New York. Okay. And that's a collaboration with Poetry Ireland here and Druid Theatre. So we're doing loads of beautiful poetry pieces. Films, we're working with the Welsh government and the Scottish government as we've created this show called Shoda. It's our Celtic Connections. So we've Griff Rees from Super Furry Animals performing from Wales. We've got The Breath performing in Antrim, and a beautiful concertina player, Bridget Chamboul from Scotland. Those kinds of things, but predominantly it is all Irish. Yeah.
What are your own kind of highlights? What are your own favourite gigs or events or artists that are featuring?
I would say, we've curated a beautiful day of stuff for the 17th of March, and in the morning we want to try and capture that essence of the parade and all the lovely festivities. So we've filmed like marching band performances all over Ireland, and also internationally and in the States. We've got these little 5-minute films, but then also you go into the evening and we've got this fantastic show called Baroque. It's a contemporary traditional music from like Colin Macanumra to Cormac Begley, Lisa O'Neill,
Okay.
Like all these gorgeous young traditional artists. Then we go into a big pop performance from Soleil, who's one of our new kind of up and coming R&B pop singers, which we've just filmed a big bombastic performance from her. And we've got some really special secret shows that we have not even announced yet. They're big lighting projects and spectacular pieces that are going to go out around 9:00. It's called the Orchestra of Light and Solace Animating Ireland, and tune in for those. So it's a really lovely night on St. Patrick's Night. Okay. And also, actually, we're working with the festival event company called I.NY, which connects Ireland with New York. And we're doing on St. Patrick's Night, it'll be connecting 3 different days in different parts of the world. They choose their records, all kind of themed around New York, what inspires them about the music, how that music, inspired them as they were growing up, their friends, their family, and everyone puts the vinyl on, plays their piece, chats about it, and it's these 3 screens from different parts of the world. They're all chatting about their music. So there's loads of nice international connections as well.
Perfect. Did I see? Is there a virtual parade as well that's been streamed?
Yes, so as you know, with everybody around the world this year, there'll be no gatherings, and what we've done is we've connected with RTE, which is our national TV channel station here in Ireland, and we're doing this project called #RTE Virtual Parades. And all of the pageant companies who would normally be, waltzing down the streets of Dublin for the parade, we've now commissioned them to create half-hour workshop videos, costume making, props, mask making, and we're encouraging families all over Ireland and the world to create their own little pageant parade at home using all these tips, and then we want them to film them and put them online through Instagram, Facebook, whatever, with the #RTE Virtual Parades tag, and then they're all going to come together on the 17th of March. And it's really gorgeous. We did it a tiny bit last year because we were so last minute getting cancelled. And it's lovely to see all the pieces coming together. So this is going to be huge now. It's a campaign we've been running for the last 2 months, which is brilliant.
Brilliant. Karen, that sounds fantastic. So St. Patrick's Festival.ie is where all the action is this week. And you on Facebook, that's Instagram, correct. The usual social media channels.
We're everywhere, everywhere, and also on TikTok. So we're working with TikTok this year. There is a massive TikTok Irish challenge going on, and it has just gone crazy. We're like, from people, we only had a few hundred followers. Like the other day, we're up to something like 17 million or something like that. People are doing their little Irish challenge and putting it up on TikTok, and it's great crack. So everybody can join in there.
Perfect. Look forward to that. St. Patrick's Festival.ie. Karen, thanks very much for coming on, and best of luck with the festival.
Thanks a million, Michael.
Okay, so we'll head up to Boston now with Mary Sugrue, who's the chief executive of the Irish American Partnership, a great organisation, and I'm glad to have Mary on the show. She's one of the first people I met when I landed in New York about 2.5 years ago. We were sitting down at the GPA dinner in Midtown, and I got friendly with Mary, and she told me about the partnership. So Mary, thanks very much for coming on the podcast.
Oh, listen, delighted to be here, Michael, and lovely to see you virtually here from Boston.
Tell me, Mary, you're just to give us a quick background on yourself. You're from the Kingdom.
That's right. I'm from Carsabeen, Cúnta Círí. Yeah. So grew up in Carsabeen, and went to Dublin for a few years and was teaching in Ireland and and then I left and I ended up in Boston, and I've been here for over 30 years. Let's just put it like that. Yeah.
Tell me, Mary, tell us what is the Irish American Partnership and what do you do?
Yeah, so the Irish American Partnership, we actually support education programs in Ireland in the North and South. So we have a whole membership base across the United States. So what we're doing is we're connecting Irish and Irish Americans back to the places and the people that they hold dear and that they're interested in. And so very much our mission is education. So the funds that we raise are raised for programs in Ireland, both the North and South. So our flagship program is our Direct Grants to Schools program. And so we've supported rural schools all across the whole of the island with grants to the schools, for library books, for science materials, for literacy, for numeracy, for music banks, whatever the schools need it for. So we're very much about connecting our donors back to Ireland in a very tangible way.
I've been at some of your meetings, of course, and just seeing the work that you do, putting money into schools back home. It's fantastic work you do. So fair play to you. And I must just say that your events were always fantastic. Unfortunately, now we're virtual. But one of the first events, one of the best speeches I've ever heard was at an Irish-American partnership breakfast. It was Michael Dowling, maybe a year and a half ago. Yes. I was just blown away by it, his speech for the morning. So when we're back in person now, we can tune in virtually Monday. But I would just tell people who haven't heard of the Irish-American partnership, keep an eye out. The meetings, the in-person meetings are fantastic as well. So that was a great day, Mary. So Mary, playing ahead to Monday, you have a huge lineup ahead Monday. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I will, yeah. And just a quick note there on Michael Dowling. We gave a grant to his school, Knockadary in Limerick, and honest to God, it was just brilliant because the school actually used the funds to buy musical instruments. So it was lovely. And Michael instinctively understood the partnership's mission, so it was brilliant. But anyway, we've been running St. Patrick's Day events in Boston and in Chicago for 26 years. This is our 26th annual. We had to obviously move it to a virtual event, but we're delighted to be able to do that. So the event will be on virtually. You can, it's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you could access the link to it from irishap.org. So we'll have messages from Taoiseach, we'll have a message from President Higgins, we'll have a message from Mary Walshe, our mayor here in Boston, who is representing Boston and representing Connemara, where his people are from. And we've given grants to his parents' schools in Connemara. And of course, he's the US Secretary of State nominee. So it's brilliant to have him. And then representing the city of Chicago and the people there will be the Chicago's Grand Marshal, and that's Father Tom Hurley, who's the pastor of Old St. Pat's, the most beautiful church in Chicago. So we'll also have our former president, Mary McAleese. But then at the event, we are announcing support for a new program. And that program is around empathy at the secondary school level in Ireland. So we've done a lot of work in the past around primary school, but this year we're launching a program at the event, at the St. Patrick's Day virtual event, around about activating social empathy in young people. The patron of the program is Cillian Murphy, your fellow Corkman.
Yeah. And a Douglas man.
Douglas man.
I'm from Douglas, but I'm an emo man, but anyway.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah, well, Cillian, it was really, he inspired us to really get involved because he's very interested in young people, supporting young people, and like ensuring that every young people understand that everyone has a different story and everyone's story is valuable. So we really feel that empathy education is going to be a very important cornerstone as we all, rebuild and get out of what we've all been through in the last year, So anyway, the program is run out of NUIG Galway. So we have the professors, Professor Pat Dolan from NUIG and Professor Mark Brennan, actually from Penn State. The two of them together have put together the curriculum. Through our funds, we're going to help roll out the empathy curriculum in secondary schools in both the north and south of Ireland. So we're delighted. And so the professors will be on, and so will Cillian, all on. Okay. And then we'll have musical performances as well, some beautiful music. So it'll be an overall celebration of Irish culture, heritage, education, music. It'll be great.
Brilliant. And it's on between 6 and 7, is it Eastern?
6 and 7, yep.
6 and 7. And it's free to register, is it? But you can also leave a donation to the partnership when you register.
Yes, that's right, yeah. So when you go into irishap.org, yes, you register for free. So tell your network, anybody who's interested. And then, yes, if you'd like to support our work, that would be great, But, we're delighted. I mean, look, the celebrations are going to be different this year, but we feel that, the sentiments of St. Patrick's Day, our love for our place and our people is still as strong as ever. So we're delighted to be able to do it virtually.
It sounds great. It's a huge lineup, Mary. I must say it must have been a tough undertaking to get it all put together.
Oh, it was. But you know what? I have to say, our supporters, our honorees, the people who step up for us all the time. It is just brilliant. It is lovely that, we bring Ireland, I guess, a little bit over here, and we're bringing here United States to Ireland. It's a wonderful relationship, and And we're very fortunate. We've got brilliant supporters on both sides of the Atlantic, so it's fantastic. Yeah.
Tell me, Mary, if you missed the event and you register, can you watch it afterwards?
Yes, you can. Yeah. So when you go onto our website, you will see the link there. That will be, and you will be able to watch it later. If you're busy at 6 on Monday, no bother. You can watch it. You can watch it on St. Patrick's Day itself, and I think people will really enjoy it. It's wonderful. Yeah, brilliant. Great messages, great music, great. It's a wonderful celebration of our two countries and our connections, because that's what the partnership is really about: connecting people from between our two places. Yeah.
Sounds great, Mary. Best of luck with it, and we'll be sure to tune in. And you must come back on some other time and give us an in-depth look into what the partnership does.
Oh, gee, I'd be delighted to do that, Michael. I'm delighted to see you're settled in New York, and it's brilliant. And I'll be looking forward to getting back down there soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Mary, thanks very much for coming on.
Okay, bye now.
Okay,
take care.
Thanks. We now head over to Tressa Goodwin-Smith's segment from the Ireland Calls radio show last week to listen to her interview with New York City Parade Chairman Sean Lane. Sean gave Tressa a rundown on some of the virtual events the parade is hosting this year. Ireland Calls radio show is the longest running Irish radio show in America and is produced by Tressa and her husband Tommy Smith. So tune in every Saturday from 6 p.m. on WVOX radio station, or you can catch all previous episodes on IrelandCallsRadioshow.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to welcome back on Ireland Calls the chairperson of the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, Mr. Sean Lane. Sean, great to have you back on Ireland Calls.
Tressa, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you again. Thank you.
Sean, just to make it official again, no grand St. Patrick's Day Parade on Fifth Avenue this year.
Yes, I mean, sadly, as you'd said, Tressa, due to the worldwide restrictions, really not just in New York or nationally on COVID, we're not going to be able to have our normal parade, where, as you know, we would have up to 225 marching groups, 173 bands, I think was what we had lined up for last year. Could be 250,000 people, but, we can't do that. What we're hoping to do is something similar to what we ended up doing last year, where a very, very small group just marched up to maintain the parade route with a banner. And, we're in negotiations with the mayor's office. We're hoping to do something very similar, very, very small, just to commemorate the day for historical purposes. It would be our 260th year in a row.
There may be no parade, but we are all going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, aren't we?
Yes, well, as you say, it's the only national holiday that's celebrated all over the world, and that's not going to stop us. We're certainly, I'm sure plenty of us are going to do something to commemorate the day.
Yes, keep the tradition alive. And in the past couple of years, the Mass on television has become a huge favourite.
Yes, I mean, we were very lucky. A couple of years ago, Cardinal Dolan introduced me to the CEO of the Catholic Faith Network, Monsignor Vlon, who's a wonderful man, and he's got a wonderful staff. And they've been televising the Mass every year for us, and that's going to continue. At 8:30 on St. Patrick's morning, we will be televising the Mass live from St. Patrick's Cathedral.
This year, there is some dedications that the parade is making to the frontline workers, the first responders, and the essential workers.
Yes, so for the first time in the 260-year history of the parade, we've actually created an honor guard. And this honor guard consists of first responders and essential workers, and we just obviously wanted to reinforce the tremendous thanks that we all have, how grateful we are to our first responders, people such as yourself. I know you're a nurse, but also the essential workers, people that just go into work day in, day out. And, we've representatives from the MTA, from the Port Authority, the building managers. We've got, nurses and doctors as well, and people working in facilities, obviously the operating engineers, the guy that keeps the power, the heat, the water going, all behind the scenes that you don't necessarily think of. But certainly when you're in a major crisis like this, we're delighted and thrilled that these people are so good that they go into work for us to keep everything going. And we're very, very thankful for all the work that these people do for us.
Oh, we certainly are. We send them out virtual hugs. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody. This year is also the 20th anniversary of 9/11, where so many lost their lives.
Yes, as you say, it's a somber anniversary. I think one of the most poignant moments in the parade, obviously in 2002, was that moment of silence where the entire parade and all the people on the sidelines did that moment of silence to recognize all those that we lost in September 11th. And particularly, as you know, our fire department was hard hit. Of the nearly 3,000 people, I believe, that were lost, there was over 400 first responders, and over, I think, three-quarters of the first responders we lost on September 11th were firefighters. So we're incredibly thankful and obviously have to recognize that somber anniversary for all the sacrifice those people gave. And then, as you know, people have had complications, health issues, and even some deaths from cancer, etc. It's been terrible. For the great work that these people did on our behalf and the sacrifices they made. So we obviously want to make sure that we recognize that.
Yes, we will never forget. We will never, never forget that day. How can our listeners help our parade, Sean?
Well, how people could help, we'd love to have more people participate. We actually have a wall for pictures and greetings on our website. If you go to nycstpatricksparade.org, where you can actually post pictures, because the one thing we do miss is seeing everybody, and as you do as a commentator, I'm sure, having Fifth Avenue lined with 1 or 2 million people and then up to 250,000 marching, it's a very special day. But one way to be there virtually is to go to the parade website, and you can actually post pictures and post a gallery of greetings or thanks for our first responders and essential workers, and people have been doing that. It's a nominal fee just to be able to post the picture, but as I said, it's a way for people to be with us on the day. And then, of course, if people are able to help, we do have, the parade does incur several $100,000s a year in expenses, just as ordinary operating expenses for accounting, the office, etc., insurance, even when we don't have a full parade. So if anybody is able to help, that's always enormously appreciated. And again, that's at nycstpatricksparade.org is the website. If they're able to help, we'd greatly appreciate it.
And like you say, we do miss seeing everybody, and we can't wait to get out there next year, hopefully, and we'll see everybody again.
Oh, I think we'll have the biggest parade in history next year, Tressa.
I think so too. And for the first time ever, the parade is going to feature a virtual journal. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so again, rather than obviously we normally have our physical journal, which is a beautiful piece, and I know you've worked on it and you're actually helping us with a virtual journal as well, where a small group of people worked in a dedicated way to put together the printed journal, which goes everywhere all over the city. This year it's going to be virtual, it's going to be online. So the same thing, we're asking people if they want to post congratulations or, just greetings or thanks to first responders and essential workers, that they take an ad in the journal. And again, you can go to the parade website and find it there. And we're very thankful to our journal committee as well, including your good self, because it's such a strange year, as we know. But we want to try to keep as much of the elements of the parade alive as possible.
And the virtual journal would be a nice way for people to see other people and know that they're still okay and everybody's okay, because picking up a phone today, you don't really know, do you?
You don't, and to express, and as well to, for remembrances of people that we may have lost, or, even to say thank you to our first responders and essential workers as well. We see people doing that as well.
Sean, what is your wish going forward?
Well, the wish obviously is just that we get past this. We're being told by our medical experts that hopefully by August or September that most everybody should be vaccinated in the United States and that we'll be able to move on. And then, as I said, my biggest wish is that we all get together and we have the biggest parade in history next year.
Yeah, we'll celebrate for a week, Sean.
Yes, I think so, or several weeks maybe.
Yeah. Yes. Sean, thank you so much for chatting with me on Ireland Calls. Thank you for always coming on board and giving us the updates and letting all our community all over the world know about how the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade is doing, and continued success to you as chairman of the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks so much, Tress. Always lovely to talk to you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Finally, to end the show, we'll head back over to Jim Frawley, where he talks about his company, Bellwether.
Yeah, Bellwether, we help people manage change. The world is changing faster than we can handle, and it's coming from all different types of levels. It's workplace is changing, society's changing, your family's changing, your technology's changing, and each of these are difficult in and of itself. But how to adapt to all of these when all of them happen at once, you need to kind of deal with macro change in kind of a special way. Nobody's ever told you how to do that because you have to do it yourself. So I've laid out the framework in the book, Adapting in Motion. And that's what clients and corporations bring me in to do, is how do you get people to make effective decisions when there's so much change on the horizon, you're unsure of what's coming next. So it's really about making good decisions.
And did the book come out just in line with the pandemic, or was it coming out all along? And how much has your work changed in the last year with the pandemic? I suppose it's like everyone else has been upended.
Upended in a great way. It's gotten so busy. I've been working on the book for a long time, a number of years, and it just wasn't, I was just doing it on the side. And then I just started getting up early. I had nothing else to do in the pandemic, and I just cranked it out, and it just flowed from there. It was basically my challenges that I was dealing with, as well as my time in corporate and the challenges I dealt with corporate. And it all came down into, I think, really relatable stories that people can internalize and use to make their own path. And from there, everybody's looking for a coach. Everybody needs help. So from a business perspective, I've been very fortunate that it's been pretty busy.
It's kind of like a life coach, life guidance book, is it?
A little bit, yeah, but it's also with a business hint. So it's less on life coaching, more on my business is more focused on the business coaching aspect of it, how to be a successful executive, how to communicate to the C-suite, how are you pivoting your small business and getting that ready for change and adapting your business for that. So it's really from a business perspective, but businesses are made up of human beings. So I guess anything is a coloring book if you have a crayon. So I guess it's a coaching book too.
Finally, I don't think I asked you to start. I asked you off air. What's your Irish heritage, your Irish background? Where do your ancestors come from?
Yeah, my grandparents came from Ireland, and then I had a set of great-grandparents that came by way of Newfoundland from Ireland, and I've got plenty of family there now. I'm a dual citizen. I've got family in Galway, Clare, down in Kinsale. I've got a few that made it back up to Dublin and are living in that area too. So we're pretty well spread out across the island.
And that's all for this week. Let us know what you think by leaving us a comment on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at The Long Haul Podcast. You can check out all of our previous shows on thelonghaulpodcast.com, including our last episode on the New York bar industry with Cormac McCormack, interviews with Irish Central founder Neil O'Dowd, real estate broker Shane Boyle, and of course the hugely important podcast about the potential sale of the American Irish Historical Society building on Fifth Avenue. Please rate and subscribe to the podcast. This will ensure that we can get more podcasts to you more often.
Polka to me, why, Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can you dance the polka? And when we got inside the house, the drinks were passed around. The liquor was so awful strong, my head went round.